Hello, and welcome to our artistic showcase from our game design project. And as you might imagine, art, specifically pixel art, is one of the most important parts of the process. It's through creating dazzling art that the worlds of, well, any video game, really, are brought to life. RPG Maker MV, the software we've chosen, primarily works with pixel art. Rather than try and explain pixel art to you in words, instead, we're going to take a quick look at some examples and some pixel art being created. So, while there were some small pieces of art created for Underhaul, the previous game we made, the vast majority of the art assets in that game were the default assets that RPG Maker MV comes with. This is, in truth, one of the reasons why that software is an effective beginner's tool for those wishing to get into the games industry. As will be stated in our programming video later on in the series, RPG Maker comes with all the artistic assets that you could possibly need: music, sound, and art. Everything a budding developer could hope for. On top of this, there is also a custom character design tool, allowing players to create their own characters using an adaptable series of parts that the software comes with. In short, you don't need to be an artist in order to make original characters and art.
There are a number of preset tiles that you can use, preset designs that can be implemented into the game. And the purpose of that being is that it's more of a user-friendly software, that you don't have to create every single blade of grass, every single pavement, and every single table or chair or whatever. There are some preset tiles that you can already get, and you can actually find stuff online as well that you can sort of do it for you.
Although we could have gone with this for our second game, for Isolated Nightmares we wanted to do something different, something more memorable than merely using the inbuilt artistic assets once again. It was important, both to us as staff members, but also to our learners. We take the lessons learned in the creation of a game like Underhaul and apply them to creating an even better project. It was also important to our learners and staff to expand the range of what we taught.
I think the difference we took with this project was that we wanted to create most, if not all, of the tile sets and ourselves, and that was something that the learners were keen to do from the offset, is they wanted to create as much of it as possible. And also, we didn't know how long lockdown would last, so we really wanted to create a project that had some legs to it, and it had some longevity to it, but also some scope for people to create original pieces of art and original designs. So with this approach, with creating as much as we could, it was a bit of a gamble. I mean, is it going to be that exciting, creating pavements, and roads and signs and all those little things that that you could just get from the software itself? So that was a bit of a gamble, and I think it really paid off, because what we learned, particularly within the arts team, was that you can't always just jump into it and then design a big goblin or a dragon or a beast or a cyclops or whatever it is you want to design straight away. There's a learning curve to it. You practice and play about with it and get better and better. And if you've never done it before, which most people in the team have never designed, or used pixel art before or created games before or any of that stuff, you could start with something smaller. You could start with something that was, you could look around your room, look around this room now, and I can see things that I can go, oh, I might draw that as a piece of art. And that was some of the inspiration that we used really when we were creating these games. Quite often we just say, well, look around your room and draw something if you're brand new to it.
To achieve this difference initially, substitute artwork was implemented in the game, many of which was placeholder art created by staff, or more specifically myself. This immediately allows for the game being designed to look substantially different than a game made using default assets, even at the stage where you're just drawing out the maps. As well as this, we began working with our learners, teaching them to use pixel art applications to create custom art pieces. Many of our learners were very interested in the artistic side of making a video game. Some were experienced pixel artists, and others maybe didn't have that experience, but they were enthusiastic about the prospect of learning brand new skills. The most convenient software that we have found to create pixel art is called Piskel. It is, at least at the time of recording and making this video, a free online site where pixel art creations can be made. As you can see from the footage on the screen and from the montage earlier in this video, it is a very versatile pixel art tool, allowing you to create a great many different combinations of characters, tile sets, and more. Our learners have thrown themselves into this artistic endeavour, creating many varied, exciting characters and monsters for this game world, some of whom we can't actually show you for fear of spoiling the hard work our learners have done. But trust me, we're really, really excited. It cannot be stressed how important to the process of creating a game this sort of artistic work really is.
In general, we're all organised. Rob is basically the one who asked us if we've done the stuff, and then we have someone like Tom who does like the notes, and then we have notes for like the rest of it. And then I'm just the one who tries to do like some characters, some of the like the bedroom for an example, and also for people others might not be able to do. And I honestly thank Tom for actually giving me the blank sprite for the actual characters themselves, because it's made it much easier for me to actually understand Piskel more than anything else. And it's still difficult to do trees and stuff, but it's just a workaround. You just need to find something to do. Well, my process is mainly I have a blank piece of, let's just say a blank piece of paper or on Piskel. Let's just say canvas. But then I have the actual character what Tom designed, a blank one. And what I do is I think of a design like, let's just say the drunken dude. I do the design like, okay, it might be a homeless, so I do like a homeless design, put a beer bottle in his hand or a mug, and then just go from there, just make it in detailed, in depth as I can. Because I use like my surroundings in like other people and myself and just my surroundings in general to actually get a feel and an idea of what I can make in Piskel.
Currently, I've just been doing the artwork for our First World hero in the real world, and I'm at this moment doing the face art for his real world form and his fantasy world form. My personal process is first I research the topic of what I'm looking to do. So say if I was to do the knight, I would first research artwork about knights. Then once I've chosen a few pics that I like the look of, that I think would work well, or pictures that have pieces of it that I think would work together, I then take them and start drawing up a starting sketch, so a concept sketch for what I want it to look like. So where I'd like each piece to go on the character, and then from there I'd then cement it. So I then put in more detail for it. So I give the character. So I make sure that each piece is known. I know exactly now. I know that where each piece is. I can now show it on the character's form. whereas so it looks better. Then from there, because we're using pixel art, I try to transfer my drawings into pixel form and try to get as much of the detail from the drawing as I can into the pixel art, so it looks as close to the actual drawn version as I possibly can.
I think with how it's made the game better, I think in terms of playing it, is it's particularly within the RPG Maker world, there's a little bit of some pride, I think, within creating your own stuff. I think people that play a lot of these games, they can spot the preset ones, a mile off, and they can say, oh, that one you've used somewhere else. On the flip side, people that are really sort of well versed in these games can see if you've designed it yourself. I think as a creator, there's some pride that you can take in saying that I've been a part of creating all of these sort of different paths and different sceneries and mountains and rooms and what have you. And as a player, somebody playing those games, there's also I think it's just quite nice to know that there's been a lot of effort put into it. There's been a lot of care and thought and put into creating these games. So it's been a challenge. It's been a challenge for the arts team, and it's been a learning curve. I think for us as facilitators and for those folks as volunteers, as staff working, as volunteers within this project. But what I've found, the benefit of it is that there's more care and pride put into the work that we do. Some people really, really love doing those tile sets. There's things that you might think of being, that's not the most fun thing in the world. I want to be drawing monsters and dragons, but actually some people get just as excited about, looking around and thinking, right, I'm going to design a living room, and then thinking, right, so I'm going to design a table like this and a sofa like this and a little chest of drawers and things like that. And I think that can be just as exciting, especially when you know that you're getting better and better at doing it. And if you can have feedback from the rest of the team, good work, you did a good job there, that can be just as rewarding as designing big monsters.
Hopefully, from watching this video, you've gained a good sense of the kind of work we've done with our pixel art. Like everything else, we're incredibly proud of the work our learners have achieved. Until next time, thank you for watching this video.